Many North Carolinians are seeing that an economic rebound is being offset with lower paying and unstable new jobs. Heather Burgiss travels to Robeson County, where she learns how Native American families cope with food insecurity in what is considered America's third poorest county for its size.
Well, I would say that they need to come here and see those who have walked 10 miles to get a box of food for their 4 children, to come and see those who have come in, who have worked all day, and they would go to bed early so they wouldn't think about being hungry.
Because food's getting short and we've got to have something on everybody that comes in.
Each day, new families come into the Robeson County Church and Community Center in Lumberton, looking for help with food, paying bills, and oftentimes they seek emotional support.
It's increasing each and every week, and it just breaks my heart to see the struggles that families, especially children, are going through just to exist.
He's been laid off twice. He got laid off, and then we got evicted. We got put out of our house. It's just hard. It's just hard when you don't have the finance to do all these things.
Today, Regina comes looking for assistance to pay her light bill. Along with the bills, Regina and her husband find themselves with the added expense of raising their 3-year-old grandson, Elijah.
It's kind of scary at first because I'm thinking, Lord, I've got to buy all these things. I've got to put him in school.
More and more grandparents in North Carolina are raising their grandchildren with fixed incomes that often don't stretch very far.
We try to manage some way to get him things that he needs. Even though we don't have the money, we still try to do it. When Elijah gets ready to go to the refrigerator and he's like, Mommy, where's my hot dogs or where's my cookies? And then I'm like, oh God, it's running out and we don't have the money, and he don't understand those things.
In Regina's case, she does the best to make sure Elijah has enough food.
I know sometimes when he is hungry, I can tell, because I know sometimes he goes to bed and he's like, Mommy, I'm hungry. And he don't understand. And I try to feed him. I try to give him what I can give him. And sometimes he's not satisfied, but he gets all right. Eventually he'll get all right and he'll go on off to sleep.
North Carolina is ties with the state of Louisiana for the most children who are hungry under the age of 5. And that's a startling statistic. And we struggle with what more can we do to help that child. You know, you don't want children hungry. You'd rather be hungry yourself than to actually see a small child hungry.
Reports show that Robeson County is the 3rd poorest county in the nation, with 1/3 of its residents living on $15,000 or less a year. With those numbers, coupled with high unemployment, the rates of child hunger and food insecurity continue to rise.
We've tripled our food assistance, and a lot of that has been children.
When I came 2 years ago, we were doing an average of 25 boxes a day. Now we're up to 75 boxes a day. And this is just with families.
For Robeson County, the struggle of poverty and hunger continues through the years. Studies link this high poverty pocket with the isolation and lack of political voice many Native American cultures experience.
The issue of hunger came front and center. It has always been a real issue for this community.
Darlene Jacobs has watched substance abuse often destroy families.
And because of the alcohol and drugs, they're taking the monies and purchasing for other things and not the food. And the children are going hungry.
People in Robeson County continue to respond with food and help. But the mounting need eclipses what many agencies can impact. But they say they won't stop trying to make a difference, especially in the life of a child.
That gives them a chance to have the life and the future that they deserve. And so that we can continue doing what we do and making a difference in children's lives so they can grow up and come back and make a difference for themselves.
Bye-bye.
The face of hunger is changing in North Carolina. Statistics show hunger is affecting our state's youngest citizens at alarming rates. In part 2 of her special series, Child Hunger in North Carolina, Heather Burgiss takes a look at the growing problem of child hunger and why the supply of emergency food at food banks across the state is in crisis, and how schools and local agencies are working together to try and bridge the ever-widening hunger gap.
Children may not understand the scope of hunger, but they know when they're hungry.
We're approaching 1 in 3 children in this region that are food insecure. They suffer from hunger. That means they don't know where their next meal is coming from or if they're going to have a next meal.
You could be standing in the hallway, and I've experienced this on many occasions, and you think they're going to say good morning. They do say good morning, but they also say, I'm hungry. Do you have something that I can eat?
I think when you don't see something or someone or a need, you don't think it exists, but it does.
It seems just as workers finish sorting through the piles of donated food, the supply is gone to hungry people.
It is a major struggle, and we cannot keep up with the demand in spite of all that we're doing with the increased need that we see.
And the demand keeps coming, and the need for food at the Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest North Carolina in Winston-Salem continues to skyrocket.
We've gone from 7 million pounds 3 years ago to, at the end of 2011, nearly 22 million pounds. That's the equivalent of more than 18 million meals, but it's not nearly enough.
The food bank's 350 partner agencies from the 18-county service area, which spans from Boone to Burlington, report more people asking for help with food. These numbers of food hardship in the northwest part of North Carolina lead the state, and in some cases, the nation.
Well, according to FRAC, which is the Food Research Action Center, unfortunately, Winston-Salem ranks #1 with food insecurity of children in households from 18 and under.
But in our 18-county service area, that increased need is up a staggering 100% plus. We've gone from serving about 130,000 people 3 years ago to today we're serving more than 300,000 people. And sadly, about 100,000 of those are children.
With the increased need, food banks across North Carolina report extreme shortages of federally sponsored food and food donations. Partner agencies like the Fairgrove Family Resource Center, who depend on the food bank for supply, say sometimes they can't get the food they need.
We'll have to tell them we have no meat. So they'll want to say, well, you know, when are you going to get some meat? And, well, our answer is we don't know. It depends on what we get from the grocery stores and if Second Harvest would have meat. So our well-balanced food boxes that we always were so prideful of having and being able to give, we haven't been able to do.
Specifically, our food bank this quarter is getting 60% less food than we did last quarter. When our agencies come in and they don't see the food that they need, it's generally because of a reduction in the federal TFAP program and fluctuations that happen in the donated food that we get from food drives primarily and retail grocery store pickups secondly.
These shelves are normally filled with food and replenished twice a day, but donations are down during the summer, and that can be devastating for children in North Carolina who normally get their food at school, but now must depend on feeding programs to sustain them over the summer.
As we well know, hunger does not take a vacation. So we have a summer feeding program that we're able to feed children during the 10 weeks that they're out of school.
We had students who came to us and said, you know, there's no food in our house.
After years of seeing kids in need, retired East Davidson High School principal Kathy Smith volunteers her time at the Fairgrove Food Pantry to pack sacks for hungry children who may only have these 4 meals on the weekend.
You have no way of knowing, but at least we know that if there's no food there, that they at least have this each week.
I do relate to the kids that we serve at Petrie. I tell the kids all the time that I grew up poor.
During the school year, Principal Essie McCoy sees children affected by hunger every day.
We are 98.9%, so 100% basically free and reduced lunch, and you can see there is a need.
McCoy believes child hunger programs like Feeding America's Backpack Program and others make a difference you could never measure.
Can you imagine a child leaving here Friday afternoon, not really having anything to eat Saturday and Sunday, and then coming back to school, and we expect them to learn? So we're so fortunate. Last school year we had 50 backpacks, and hopefully this school year we will add even more.
We had one child who receives a backpack program in one of our schools write a letter to her teacher saying, "Thank you so much for the backpack. You are filling my stomach. You are saving children's lives."
Over the next couple of weeks, thousands of children will be going back to school in our state. And for some of those children, getting back to the books means escaping the hard realities of hunger. In part 3 of her special series, Child Hunger in North Carolina, Heather Burgiss looks at the physical, social, and emotional toll food insecurity has on growing children, and how easy it is to miss the warning signs of what is becoming a chronic problem.
There are a lot of people in North Carolina that don't know that there's a neighbor next to them or a child that goes to school with their child that might be hungry. It may not be obvious. They may be missing a meal here and there, but that doesn't mean they're not hungry. It doesn't mean they shouldn't get that meal.
For many children in North Carolina, getting back to school after a long summer break and a scarcity of food in their own homes means hunger can take a vacation.
They're having lunch. Our lunches and breakfast come from the food bank, which has helped us a whole lot.
Summer feeding programs like this one in Raleigh bridge the gap before the school doors open in August.
With the economy now, it's really hard to feed 4 or 5 kids. Just being able to give them nutritious meals, and it helps them to know how to eat healthy.
So this is a big help to them and their nutrition and their growth, and also to their parents, to their families. Maybe they are, just trying to make that food stretch, and that's why we're here. We're here to help alleviate some of that stretching that's going on.
According to Feeding America Map the Meal Gap, the percentage of children who are food insecure or go hungry on a regular basis in North Carolina is 27.3%. That's over 4% higher than the national average.
The mission of the food bank is no one goes hungry in our service area of Central and Eastern North Carolina. There are a lot of reasons why people are hungry here in our 34 county service area. The economy certainly hasn't helped in the last few years. We're talking about over 545,000 people who are living at or below the poverty line. So they may not be completely without food, but maybe they're skipping meals that they don't need to skip.
I think we go about our day-to-day task. We really don't think about childhood hunger, but it's right here in our own community, in our own neighborhoods, in our own backyards, in our schools.
As she readies for the new school year, Principal Essie McCoy says one of her biggest strategies has to center on meeting the children's basic needs of food, so her students will be in good condition for learning.
We believe in our kids. We want them to believe in themselves. We try to provide them with the best possible education, and in order to do that, we know when our kids come into the school and they're hungry, they're lethargic, they're tired, they're in just need of so much. We have to realize that we have to put a plan in place in order to take care of their needs. You really have to sort of grasp yourself emotionally and hold back the tears to say, yes, I know you're hungry, and come with me. I'm going to take you to the cafeteria, or I'll take you to my office, or I'll go to a teacher's classroom, and we will take care of that.
Principal McCoy understands firsthand students who are hungry. She herself grew up in a loving home, but at times there wasn't enough food for her family.
I can think back, and it's so interesting because I have 2 kids and they're always picking at me about some of the stories I share with them about some of the things I used to eat, like a mustard sandwich. And it's so funny now, but certainly, you know, we did that so that we would not go hungry. So I can feel what the kids are feeling when they walk into my building.
It's really about food security, about the feeling that the knowledge that there'll be food there for you.
As a pediatrician, Dr. Tom Irons has served thousands of lower-income children in eastern North Carolina, where the physical and psychological effects hunger has on growing kids are evident.
Chronic disease rates go way, way up. The most common chronic disease of children, of course, is asthma, and the rates go sky high. There are places in Pitt County where 60%, as in my favorite neighborhood in Greenville, North Carolina, 60% of the children are living below the poverty line. And you can be assured that every one of those children is experiencing hunger. What happens when you're under the age of 5 and you're subjected to stresses like this on a daily basis, you get hardwired. You become more reactive. You develop all kinds of so-called internalizing behavior disorders, anxiety disorders, and aggression, and all sorts of things that occur in people who are insecure in terms of where the next meal is coming from.
When a child comes to school hungry, Dr. Irons says the day can be a long struggle to make it to lunch. But even after a meal, the effects of not eating linger and hinder the learning process.
Their ability to be attentive, their ability to not be preoccupied. You can't imagine the incidence of attention deficit disorder in this population. And I submit to you that if you took those children at age 7 or 8 and made everything right, they'd still have attention deficit disorder. And they'd have it because their brains are different now. They're brains that have lived under stress, the chronic stress of food insecurity, matched with the chronic stress of economic insecurity and social insecurity.